So what are polysaccharides good for?
What are they not good for is the question.
Okay.
And I'm not being flippant either. I mean, literally in every cell of the body, these polysaccharides are beneficial. I have seen so many amazing effects over just my 20 years. Dr. McDaniel's been at this since, actually it's coming up on 40 years. It was either 85 or 86. He is a trained pathologist, got into this almost 40 years ago. But specifically to answer your question, and I'll stick to what we've published, we can call these materials signaling mechanisms for the immune system. So what the heck does that mean? Well, the immune system has lots of different components to it, right? I mean, whether you're talking the T cells, the B cells, the natural killer cells, dendritic cells, then it's got pro-inflammatory components, anti-inflammatory components. There are components that work in harmony with each other. I mean, it's just such a fascinating organ system. But what we've showed in our research is, number one, they're very anti-infective. In our multiple sclerosis study, we showed an incredible effect on infections. We showed an improvement in overall immune system functioning according to the CD4 to CD8 ratio, which is very important, not just for people with neurodegeneration, but all of us, especially as we age. That's your helper cell to your cytotoxic cell ratio. We showed in Alzheimer's disease patients lowering of inflammation according to TNF alpha and VEGF. These are proteins that are commonly looked at in heart disease and cancer. Our paper was probably the first one that showed that in people with Alzheimer's. We showed an improvement in adult stem cell production according to CD14 cells. That's also a really interesting finding related to that study. We can talk about that study a little more specifically. We also showed improvements in the Th1 to Th2 ratio of looking at, again, from a very high level, Th1 being your pro-inflammatory side, Th2 being your anti-inflammatory side. We showed relationships there for the first time ever in people with Alzheimer's disease. We've made several discoveries in our study in Alzheimer's disease that have never even been shown before, just with using these polysaccharides or this polysaccharide formula. So globally speaking, again, you can talk about all these different effects on the immune system, which we could call them immunomodulation, immunoenhancement, lots of synonyms for that same topic. But essentially, it's almost like an adaptogenic response where if you're turned on too much, the body says, okay, we're too high here, let's cut that down. Or if we're too low here, let's turn that up. But it's all about balancing, right? I mean, it's all about putting things back to homeostasis or rebalancing all these different components. And we have such an impressive amount of information that we've published. Just from these two studies, we've published 7 articles in the peer-reviewed scientific literature that we use as the basis for Dr. Lewis Nutrition and Daily Brain Care. But again, it's incredible what these things will do, what these polysaccharides will do for the immune system.